Brandon, and welcome all to the Hopkins Farm Broadcasting with EMA Director David Kitchens, and we're here to discuss what's going on here in our county. And we've been having a lot. And before we get started, y'all, me and David apologize for our allergies because whatever's blooming is getting me.
Right, and it has been for a while.
Oh yeah, right. For the last couple 3 weeks. But anyway, Dave, what's going on? I know we've got a lot of expansion. We've got a lot of events coming up, and I know y'all have to plan way ahead for these things, and a lot of people don't realize that.
Right. So we've been busy with stuff. It's been a minute since I've been here.
Oh yeah.
We did a school exercise on one Friday that y'all helped with. Y'all helped the schools with
Liberty, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
And then we had Good Friday. So we're back. I'm glad to be back and see everybody and talk to everybody. But yeah, we've been busy. We have tons of stuff coming up. You're right. We try to plan out the things that are coming up and see what we need to have to make these events safe.
Right.
Plus, call outs. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Some of the areas that I always do it every year about this time. Talk about river safety. So, but yeah, we're really, really busy. Just came off of our conference this week in Murfreesboro. It's the EMAC conference, Emergency Management Association of Tennessee. It covers the whole state. We're in Murfreesboro the first part of this week, and it's good to see that our counterparts in different counties and talk about things that's going on there. Everybody's talking about how busy they are, whether it's activities or events or whatever. A lot of them are recovering from the winter storm stuff.
Yeah, I know. I was just saying about that. I mean, you started off the year with a big...
Oh, we did. That was January.
A big one. That got everybody's attention.
And, it's been... we were just talking a few minutes ago about how up and down the weather is. We had winter weather in January, and then we had some storms and tornadoes. We've been blessed to dodge those, but some of our neighbors have had some issues. So, yeah, it's been up and down first of the year already. Yeah, we're in month 5 just only now. So, but yeah, we're staying busy.
I'm just surprised how quick. As we get older, you know what I'm talking about, how quick the time goes.
Right.
I mean, the first 4 months, we've done gone a quarter of the year, and I'm going, where'd you go?
Right. And you were talking about planning and having, doing it a long ways out. So we're going to start, we got the moon pie in June, and we're going to have a planning meeting with that within this week, I think. And 4th of July, we'll start our craft fair planning. So yeah, we have to look out a ways, because some things, we always talk about how to make it better, or what we need to change, or whatever, and that may take some time to do that, or find that, or figure out what we're going to do. So
and when y'all do that, when you plan out ahead, it's the main reason why y'all do plan out ahead is to get the other organizations that you work with all on the same page, so when you have the event, everything goes smooth.
That's correct. What I like to do is I'll talk to all of our public safety folks, and the craft fair, we know we kind of follow
this much,
but when we're having events on the square, we look at estimated number of people that's going to be there, what they want. We talk to them what they want, and we sit down as a public safety and talk to those, and this is what we're expecting, and let them. That's their lane. I just feed them the information, and let me know what they anticipate they need, and then we go from there. So, but we have a good group. I mean, it's. On our square, we're getting more and more things on the square, so we're getting to see more and more number of people and what we are going to expect to happen. Mm-hmm. So it helps us with our planning too. So we know now we may need one EMS ambulance there, or 2, or whatever, depending on whatever. So we're learning, and we always talk about what happened and how can we make it better. I always, excuse me, craft fair has been 50-something years, right? And you would think we probably got that down pretty good, and which we do. We have a plan, but every year we have an action, and we always find some area that
you can improve in.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's it's like to say a cookie cutter thing, but it's not. You have to change.
It's not. You're exactly right. So and we work well with all those folks, and it makes it easy. I won't say easy, but easier, because everybody that we deal with, we're all on the plan and know what we're doing. So it's pretty good.
Now you got a event I think y'all going to be at tomorrow night.
We will.
Yeah,
we will. It's Hometown Heroes in Harmony.
Right.
So, I think their event actually starts today out at the VFW. Is that correct?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So if you have a chance, go out there. They got some things going on. They're doing cooking with I think they're having some...
Yeah, the Texas barbecue.
That's right.
I couldn't coming up from Texas.
So they're going to have some activities out there. And then tomorrow night, they're going to have their thing on the square where they have song artists come in.
Yeah. And they've got a bunch. And so they're expecting Hunter Girl.
Yeah.
And she's going to be there. So that'll bring a big crowd, I figure.
Right. So it'll be a big time. I think that's 5 to 8 tomorrow night.
Yeah.
We'll be there. We just did Aviation's Day.
Yep.
If you did not get to go to that, please watch out for that next year. That was a really neat event.
Yeah.
You get to go out there and take the kids. There's things for the kids to see, but you get up close with different planes and things like that.
I went last year, and I wanted to go this year, but since Saturday's my only day off, yard work came first.
Right. Well, our group, for 3 Saturdays here, we've got something going on.
Right.
It was a really good event. If you get next year when that comes around, they did a really good job out there. So
your own Chase Clanton was out there playing?
Yep, he was. I saw Chase, and they had a good crowd. So, look out for that next year. Of course, they have the breakfast fly-in and things like that.
I always like that breakfast.
Right.
Yeah, because I go out there. It's pretty reasonable, too.
Yeah. We had that last weekend, and this weekend we got the Hometown Heroes, and then the next weekend is the Community Connect 5K on the square.
Yeah.
So I was going to mention that too. Expect maybe some traffic delays some point in the morning there.
Yeah.
Around town and on Madison Avenue, close to Celebration.
Yeah, that's let's see, that'd be the 9th.
It is May 9th.
Yeah, because I think we also have the Celebration Region Car Club. It's at their cruise in.
It's
not cruise in, car show.
Car show, and that's at Celebration also.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a lot going on.
Yeah. We always seem to have a lot of events, and a lot of times they fall within a day or two of each other.
Right. And we have a lot too that if you can't find something to do during the spring and summertime in Bedford County, you're not looking too hard, because we have a lot going on in different places. I think Wartrace is at something coming up.
Strawberry Festival.
Yeah,
I think it's around the same time.
Maybe the 9th. Is it the 9th?
I think
also,
it is, yeah.
I haven't seen anything on that one myself. Yeah. The ones I mentioned, I've been involved in some way, but so there's a lot going on all over. So Cops and Riders, I think the 23rd of May is going to be out at Fairhaven
Baptist.
So there's a lot going on.
Yeah, I always like the car shows and get out and mingle with people and get to see people in your community.
Right,
that's a good thing. And when you go to these events, you like to make sure you're safe, and seeing the police or the sheriff and the guys walking around or riding around in their car, that you got somebody there.
Right. And that's what, we're out there to ward off anything that may happen, but if something does happen, we have our guys there. Also, if we have events that we do not have to do something, I try to let our public safety people know if it's going to be bigger events. Here last month, I think it was last month, we had a revival out on 231.
Yeah.
Didn't really need a lot of help from public safety, but I let our guys know because it's going to be an influx of people in that area.
Yeah.
And depending on how big the event is, can affect what their planning is, or situational awareness of what they may do as far as staffing or something else.
Because of traffic and all that stuff. Yeah.
So I let them know. I work with our THP people here also. If it's going to be close to a major highway or whatever, which just about everything we do is.
Yeah.
We try to get the information out, not just help plan. If we can help in whatever way, we do that. But if not, just pushing information out.
Well, that's the key. And I know we discussed a little bit before we got on the show here. We discussed a little bit about the rescue on the water.
Right.
That's a big thing now, because a lot of people are getting out on the boats and going fishing and cruising the river, canoeing the river.
Right, floating the river.
Yeah.
So far this year, I mean, we've had relatively warmer weather earlier than normal. I mean, listen to Elijah's forecast. Tonight's forecast low is 40-something degrees. I mean, we're got summertime temperatures at the beginning, and now we're trying to filter in some springtime temperatures, I guess. But we've had some folks out on the river already, and we've already had a couple calls. So I'll just say, that's can be a fun and enjoyable day, but make a plan to how you're going to do that and so forth, because how long it may take you to get from one place to the other. Check the flow, of course, and see if make sure it's not too much more than you can handle.
Right. And people don't realize when you get a lot of rain, the water comes up.
It does. They open the gates
swifter.
Yep. And we usually close our entrance gates at 400 PSI, so that's moving pretty quick.
Right.
And that'd be for me. I'm not. I mean, I could swim, but I'm not. Navigating very well. So that would probably be pretty high for me. Excuse me. But just and take some things. Have your cell phone, have it charged.
Yeah.
One simple thing that I say to just throw in your backpack or your bag or your pocket is a whistle.
Yeah.
And you're like, why do you need a whistle on the river? Well, if something does happen, we're working to better our navigation on the river itself, but a lot of people don't know exactly where they're at.
Yeah.
So therefore, we'll fly. We have a drone. We'll come out and we'll fly. We try to get an idea of where they're at,
right,
and fly that area until we can find them, and then we assist the rescuers to come in and what's the best way to come in and how to get them and so forth. So, but if you have a whistle and get close, we had one that we had a general area where they're at, and the guys had to actually we had a drone on the way, but guys had to get out and actually kind of look for him and see where he was at. So, it's just just have a plan, and it's critical because you get out and it may be 70 nice degrees, but the temperature may be going down that night, and if you're wet, and you add cold to that, and you might have some health issues or something like that. That could be dangerous for you.
And a lot of people take for granted, because I've been on people that don't have their life vest on, and one of the main things is keep that life vest on.
Right.
Because when you're floating the river or whatever, I know it might be bulky, but it'll save your life.
It can, and in kayaks, whatever, you may hit something and turn you over.
Yeah.
So having that on is definitely key.
Oh yeah, because I've seen a lot of people over the years that I've seen that have passed away because they didn't have the life vest on. And if you get hit your head and you fall out, if you got the life vest on, hopefully you land on your back.
Right.
And you
Well, you have a better chance for sure
surviving. Yeah.
Right.
Because it's hard if you don't.
Right. So it's that time of season. We kind of go over that every year. But it's go out and enjoy, but just be responsible and think about some of the things that you might need or what you're going to do should something happen.
Right.
And
so be cautious.
But also know that and cell phones are critical to let somebody know that you're in distress or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I'll give you an instance. I was coming down, it was last year when we had a little bit of ice still left on the old roads when we was coming, and I'd went down Coop Road out there where I live, and I just come around the corner and I seen this truck flip upside down into a ditch. And so I pulled up, and of course I'm in the radio car, so I turned the emergency lights, the head bar on so people could see. And the lady in front stopped. I seen there was two people in the vehicle, and I got out and tried to call 911. I tried, and it wouldn't go through because I'm in that little hole. So I walked up on the hill and dialed in. Still couldn't go through. And in a minute, they called me.
Right.
Because they got the signal.
Right.
I couldn't say nothing.
Right.
And finally, they got me and asked me, and I told them. And within probably 10 minutes there was emergency there.
All right.
And I got up on the hill because the road that they were coming down was solid sheet of ice. So I got up there and told them just stop up here and walk down.
Right. Yeah. It always helps. Right. And also remember too that you can text 911 too. So
yeah.
A lot of people forget that.
I do. I forgot it. All right, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
Kincaid's is proud to offer Beauty Rest Black to our customers. Beauty Rest Black represents a leap forward in bedding with sleep climate technology keeping you cool and triple-stranded pocketed coils to give you luxurious support all night long. Wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day with a new Beauty Rest Black mattress from Kincaid Service Company. 400 Madison Street, Shelbyville, across from the Speedway gas station. 931-684-5662.
You know, your eyes are a precious thing. You've got to take care of them. Looking for clear vision and hometown care you can trust? See the difference at Dr. Dale Hasty Family Eye Care. 605 North Main Street in Shelbyville, across from the U.S. Post Office. From comprehensive eye exams to helping you find that perfect pair of glasses, Dr. Hasty and his friendly team are focused on your family's vision and comfort every step of the way. Noticing changes in your eyesight? Time for that yearly checkup? Let's take care of it. 931-684-2020. Dr. Dale Hasty Family Eye Care. Because your eyes are a precious thing. Your eyes are a precious thing. You've got to take care of them.
This is Benny Pulley, behalf of Hopkins Farm Broadcast, here with David Kitchen, the EMA Director, and we're going over safety tips and things and events that are coming up in our town. And I mean, like we said a while ago, there's lots of events.
Right,
yeah,
there is.
Yeah, and we got things going on all the time.
We do. And one thing I wanted to talk about, too, is we touched on the winter weather.
Yeah.
And the last time I was here, I was talking about being prepared, things that you could have and then do for that. But if something happens, and it doesn't have, I'm not just talking about winter weather, if we have severe weather, storms, tornadoes, things like that, there's, we'd like to know where our damage areas are, and we try to follow that with our public safety people, where people report they have problems with whatever. We watch our power and power grids. You can see the outage maps, and we watch those both for the city and the county, and see if we have areas. We also look for Elijah. Has a big following, and a lot of times he'll have pictures or people send in things or things like that, so we watch those. But just know that, and I bring this up because, we had the winter weather in January, towards the end of January. They're still working with people that had damage. And I just wanted to talk just a minute about, if you have damage to your home because of a disaster, try to explain a little bit how that works in just a few minutes. Now, it's a complicated thing, but I'm going to give you the basics of it. So a lot of times you see a disaster, like we had the winter storm disaster. They declared a state of emergency, and then we got a declaration from the federal government. So that does not automatically mean that you're going to get help, but that's the process that we go through. So people understand is we have a threshold for our county that we have to meet, which is around $240-something thousand. And that sounds like a lot. But if you have damage, significant damage, like some of these things that we've seen, tornadoes, in Murray County and other places, that does go by quick. So that's. First is getting the information to report the damage, and we collect that, feed that to the state, and we make a dollar amount. That dollar amount goes to the whole state. The state has a dollar amount they have to meet also to get federal funding to move it up the chain. And I'm not really sure what that is around that. Maybe around $12 million. That sounds like a lot. Nashville, I forgot how much just the damage they had in Nashville from the ice storm.
Oh, yeah, it was several millions.
Right. So that sounds like a high number, but it doesn't take long to meet that. It's surprisingly. Once that happens and we get a declaration, then the process starts. Excuse me. My allergies are kicking in.
Oh, I know, man. It's mine too.
So that'll start the process with the federal government. So, and I will say that it's not a quick process.
Right.
And sometimes people get upset with local folks or the state folks, but we have to follow certain things. So then you'll start the process to do that. So having a plan, having a plan, what you want to do will be helpful, because they're not going to come right out and give you money.
Right. Yeah. And most of the time, of course, you got to be in that particular area, and then you got to file the claim.
Correct.
And then they'll
review it. You'll have to talk to people.
Yeah. And it could be 6 months to a year.
It takes a long time.
Yeah, it does, especially when you're dealing with the federal.
Right. And when we had the flood in Nashville in 2010, I was there working for the police department then. And that went on for like a year or a year and a half after the flood itself.
Yeah.
So it takes some time. Just be patient. And the same thing with floods. If we have flooding in the area, they look at all that. If you're in a floodplain, if you have insurance, and things like that. So there's things that determine how much you can get, if you can get, how much you can get, and what's covered. Right. And I suggest you have your discussions, with if you live in an area that you think it's a floodplain, you can go on the internet and pull up what the floodplain is in the area now. Yeah. I've been, when I worked with the team, I've also been in places where they didn't realize they were in a floodplain.
Yeah, a lot of times, like I know Nashville, I think when they had that big one there, I think they exceeded the 100-year floodplain, so they had to extend the floodplain.
They did
because of that.
And they update that. I'm not sure every how many years, but and so that's not things that they're going to look up for yourself to make sure you're covered.
Yeah.
And look at what's required. If you're required to have insurance, special insurance or whatever, in Florida, what's in Florida?
Right.
Hurricanes,
yeah.
So they require people to have hurricane.
Yeah.
Same thing with floods and things like that. If you're in a floodplain.
Yeah. I know California used to have earthquake insurance.
Right.
I don't know whether they still do or not.
But you have to investigate yourself and find out. Which is, it's good to have those things, because just a simple thing could knock you out of being able to go back to where you're at.
We were in a tornado in April of '74 up in East Tennessee, and I remember, you don't think about the emergency people or nothing, but we were without electricity for like 3 days, trees blocking the roads and different things, but we had a motel and restaurant. And during that night, after things started going, there was emergency personnel, ambulance and a thing showed up, and we had one or two guests that had got injured. They jumped in our pool, which didn't have no water in it, busted their head.
Wow.
And so the EMA guys, EMS, they took care of her head and all that kind of stuff. But, they seen a need, and they came, to check on everybody there. Is everybody okay? And we told them we had a couple injured, and so they, we tried to doctor them best we could.
Right.
Yes.
So and then talking about once the event happens, us getting that information if we have damage in areas, and we check on it too. But we are required to go to the areas and review. And do what we call a damage assessment, which we pass on to the state, and they look at that also. So there's a process. It's not just overnight.
I know, like with the hurricanes you was talking about and the big floods, Louisiana, Mississippi, they were having to go house to house,
right?
And do a check,
right?
And that's the kind of thing you don't want to ever happen, but at least you got people that know what they're doing.
But I just wanted, and we talked about, and that was one of the things that came up in the conference this week, was recovery. And that's critical.
The
event itself is traumatic,
right,
to people, and devastating to people. But once that's over, there's the period of recovery, and we're going to sit down and look at where we're at, and that's one of the things we've talked about in the past. As we're pretty good at responding to stuff,
right?
But we need to up our game, so to speak, with recovery and what's available out there, and how we can make that easier.
Yeah.
You know, in Joplin, when they had the tornado there that wiped out the whole town,
right,
they had a lot of other side issues because of that disaster, because it, of course, mentally, it took its toll on folks.
Oh, yeah,
so that's one thing, mental health. The next thing is depression. You've lost everything that you've had.
Oh, yeah.
And so they had to bring people in, especially of that, for the folks that were survivors of that, to cope with. You know, one of the things that they say is if it's possible, school is getting your schools and your everyday activity back. Yeah. So if you have a town that has your bank damaged, or you have whatever damage, your school's damaged, it takes them out of that routine,
right?
And it affects people.
It does, the mental capacity.
Correct.
It does, because you get out of the rhythm,
right? And you feel like you're overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So then that's part of a recovery, and small business. So, you know, businesses having what they call a continuity of agreement, of having an idea, if something happens, how are we going to tackle that too.
Yeah.
So we're going to look at things, you know, we hope we never ever have to use that,
right? But
if we do, we'll have an idea and a plan in place.
Yeah, you're prepared. You know, it's like the Liberty thing, the Liberty School. You know, we hope it never ever happens.
Correct.
Anything like that. But by y'all being prepared to handle it and doing like a mock situation,
right,
it really helps the people that are involved in it handle it in so much an easier manner.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're trying to, and in the past, it's always been geared to response. And our school drills here, we're not only dealing with a response, but we're dealing with a plan of how we're going to take care of kids, how they're going to be, if they need to be moved, things like that. So all those are getting exercised to make it better. Should God hopefully not ever have to happen, but instead of just running in there cold turkey, so to speak, and trying to figure it out on the fly.
Better be proactive than reactive.
Exactly.
If you've got ahead of the game by going in and practicing,
they're good. They look out and for the kids and things like that, and they're aware enough to understand, hey, we need to have a plan, and working on every time it gets tweaked a little bit more. We talked about the craft fair, and it gets tweaked a little bit more every time we use that, and
well, I know the year before we did Central,
right,
and then y'all did Liberty, and each time y'all do that, y'all sit down as members and y'all go over everything.
We call it after action,
right? So what could we do better to make this,
exactly right,
and that's how you find out where you might need a little work.
Exactly,
and that's how, when you do respond, it's respond.
No, I don't know how close we are to time.
We got about a couple minutes.
Okay, we just went through a exercise with TVA.
Okay,
TVA put on a Normandy Dam exercise for us, and we got to see where we're at, because Normandy Dam sits right at the beginning of Bedford County. We're right there, so if something should happen there, we're going to have a lot going on.
Right.
But TVA not only brought us to the table, but we brought Marshall County to the table. We brought Murray County to the table, and we had those people. All those people came in. They're not only their public safety people, but when we went, I requested and had people from our city. Of course, it affects them too, and our county. But I had somebody from property. from codes.
Okay.
Our finance people came in. And I brought them in because I wanted them to understand, too, what kind of process, what would happen. Because all those people are critical.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just fire, police, ambulance.
Right.
We've got to have everybody else in the mix, too. Yeah. So it was an awesome exercise. We had probably 100, and in the room we probably had over 100 and something people.
Right.
From various places.
Right.
We had state folks there, federal folks there, TVA, TDEC, TEMA, our state folks, and it was a very good exercise.
Yeah.
That's the way you learn.
Oh yeah.
And,
you never know.
You hope it never happens.
Yeah, but it does. I mean, there's been several cases where dams have busted.
Right. Or just flooding. Can't
handle water.
Right.
Have to let a lot out.
So it just gives you ideas about that.
Yeah.
And Ivan brought in, of course, we had our fire folks there, but our fire chief in Normandy.
Okay.
I had him come in because Normandy's the first one's he's going to be right there.
Be affected. Yeah.
Right. So, you have to, and we try to do the best we can and get, and make sure other people understand what it takes. It's not one or two or four or five. It's the whole tribe.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's the whole community.
Right. So, and we do a good job with that. We cooperation with everybody. Probably people get tired of me praising, but I don't care. They deserve praise.
I mean, y'all, the police, sheriff, everybody is so involved in all this for our community, and the safety as a citizen here, I feel safe.
Well, that's good.
That we can take care of.
And feel confident that with, all of our public safety folks, including us, are mind conscious of what needs to happen, and they are dedicated to make that happen.
Most every one of them, if you ever hear them talk, they love our community.
They do.
Yeah. They do. So that's the key. Well, David, I think that winds us up. Is there anything else you want to say before we get out?
I don't think so. Just come out tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah.
Come out to the 5K and support that.
Yeah, that's next weekend. At
the 9th.
And what time? Do you remember? I forgot to write down the time. I can't remember.
I think it's 8 or 9.
8 or 9. I can't remember.
Right.
But, yeah, just check
it out. It's all over social media, too.
Oh, yeah, so it's all over. Yeah,
check
for sure.
The chamber, other avenues where you can get your information.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's been out there.
Well, David, thank you for coming today, and we appreciate it. And thank y'all for listening today, and we will join you next time.
You know, your eyes are a precious thing. You've got to take care of them. Looking for clear vision and hometown care you can trust? See the difference at Dr. Dale Hasty Family Eye Care, 605 North Main Street in Shelbyville, across from the U.S. Post Office. From comprehensive eye exams to helping you find that perfect pair of glasses, Dr. Hasty and his friendly team are focused on your family's vision and comfort every step of the way. Noticing changes in your eyesight? Time for that yearly checkup? Let's take care of it. 931-684-2020. Dr. Dale Hasty Family Eye Care, because your eyes are a precious thing.
Kincaid's is proud to offer Beauty Rest Black to our customers. Beauty Rest Black represents a leap forward in bedding with sleep climate technology keeping you cool, and triple-stranded pocketed coils give you luxurious support all night long. Wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day with a new Beauty Rest Black mattress from Kincaid Service Company, 400 Madison Street, Shelbyville, across from the Speedway gas station, 931-684-5662.